Hello, I'm Tom, your friendly neighborhood atheist, and I just made a video where I mentioned that I was pro-life slash pro-choice. And I wanted to clarify that because I know it's a very difficult subject. And the subject is not life or choice, it's abortion. And that is a very divisive subject for a great many people for a great many reasons. For most people, it is a religious issue, because they think God has a plan and they think abortion is going against God and you're killing a life and you're basically murdering in their eyes. That's what they've chosen to believe. I myself, I say that I'm pro-choice, pro-life, because I'm all for life. I think life is the goal. I don't like the idea of killing anything. But I'm pro-choice because I'm not in that position to make that decision for myself. And I don't think I should be one to be telling anyone what to do, much less for religious reasons. Now, I'm an atheist, and saying I'm pro-life, a lot of people say, how can you be pro-life and be an atheist? That goes against it. Like, it doesn't at all. It has nothing to do with it. Being pro-life is being pro the idea of life. Being an atheist means I just don't think there's a God. And since I don't think there's a God, there's no God's plan, and so life doesn't have anything to do with God's plan. So I see no connection there. But I'm pro-choice. I understand that people are in a position that they don't want to be pregnant. They don't want to have a child. And this could be any number. It could be because they were raped. It could be because they're young. It could be because they're poor. It could be because they're, any number of reasons why someone, a female, of course, gets pregnant and doesn't want to have a child. There are other options, of course, but carrying a child is very difficult. And there could be health reasons involved. So I understand that abortion is an option. It's not a great option, but it is an option. And there are a lot of people, not a lot of people, but there are some people who do use abortion as a sort of proactive, birth control, which is bizarre to me, but a lot of things are bizarre to me. But here's the interesting statistic. When we talk about abortion and teen pregnancy and who's getting these abortions, they're not atheists getting these abortions. They're typically Christians. Now, why are Christians getting abortions? Because they are taught, they are given an abstinence-based education when it comes to sex. They are taught, don't do it until you get married. God's plan is for you to hold your virginity, you hold yourself, you got to be pure when you get married. That's what they are taught from a very young age. And people like to have sex. Teenagers like to have sex. They really like to. They've got all kinds of things going on they want to explore, and so they have sex. The trouble with an abstinence-based education is it doesn't teach you anything. It's idiotic. It's backwards, stupid. It's just so dumb, it hurts my head. To teach anyone that don't do it, that's your education. Don't do it. Save yourself. How is that education? It's just stupid. So these young girls get pregnant because they have no idea what they're doing, and they've convinced themselves that they're not going to get pregnant, God's plan, or for whatever reason, and they get pregnant, and they don't want to tell their parents. They don't want to tell their school. They don't want to have a baby. They certainly don't want to have a baby. That is the last thing they want to have is a baby. So abortion becomes a much more reasonable choice. I'm not going to be an unwed mother. I'll just get rid of it. Now, the majority of botched abortions are also done to Christians because they don't want to tell anyone. They don't want to go to anyone. They don't want to seek help to solve the situation because it's against God's plan and they're scared to death of what's going to happen to them. So they go some back alley abortionist and then they get into real trouble. Either they're injured or harmed in some way, or they die from complications. So abstinence is a horrible method of education. Teaching abstinence is basically saying, I don't care, it's God's plan. If you don't believe in God, you're going to hell, so just do whatever the fuck you want. Maybe I'm being a bit aggressive. But I am pro-life in the sense that I am for life. I want, life to happen. And I'm pro-choice because I want people to be able to decide for themselves what's best. But mostly I'm pro-education. I'm pro-sexual education. That would solve a huge number of abortions. If people knew what they were getting themselves into and how to keep it from happening. I mean, condoms are condemned by the religious. They only make you more promiscuous. No, they keep you from getting pregnant. They think condoms are against God. I mean, that's the Catholics, and that's number one. You can't stop if you're going to have sex, you have to have sex in order to have kids. That's the whole idea of sex. That's the only reason to have sex is to have kids. And that's why, Catholics have so many damn kids. But I am pro-education. I am pro-life, pro-choice, pro-education. Because that's the real thing. That's the real thing I can contribute to. That's one thing I can say, this is what you should be doing. You should be educating. And that's really my position. I am pro-education. I am pro-teaching sex education to everyone at every age. I mean, not every age. I mean, it's obviously you're not going to teach a 5-year-old sex education, but making them aware of it at an early time only makes it easier later on. Anyways, I'm Tom, your friendly neighborhood atheist, and that's where I stand on abortion. Sorry if it's a little gray still, but it's a tough thing.